Hello everyone, and welcome back to a video here on my second channel where we do things slightly different. In this video we're mostly going to be looking at a web browser because I've got some tweets from the Mojang devs. As the title of the video probably tells you, there is no snapshot today. It will be coming out next week though. And so I have some Minecraft news for you because I had a bunch of tweets that I had queued up to put in my snapshot video, but we're just going to make this video instead today. So here on my web browser you'll see that Slice Lime, one of the Mojang devs, is tweeting out saying there will not be any snapshot this week. Stay tuned for next week. And this came out around the time that they start to tell us that the snapshot is going to drop. And maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit, but normally around this time we'd learn if the snapshot has been delayed a day, but it's been delayed a whole week. So yeah, clearly overthinking that. Adrian here is also saying no snapshot, just echoing the news. Frog memes will have to wait. Brilliant. So, onto the Minecraft news itself. We've got King B Dogs here with a video for us to check out. This has got some sound as well. I believe the audio should be mixed down so you can hear the sound inside the video we're watching. If not, I apologize. And so, the rod is cast, and you can see little particle effects going out. There are red dots when they arrive at the Sculk sensors. I believe that that is redstone power. And also I'd like to point out that down here in the hotbar there is this odd looking texture which I think is actually what goes on top of the grass, and it doesn't look like a block, so I've got a feeling that this stuff is like a, in fact if you look right, oh they're leaf blocks. Okay, yeah, so I think it's a layer that goes on top of the grass or maybe transforms the grass block. I also don't think this stuff looks very nice next to grass. It always looks really odd the way it blends in. So anyway, I think that's like a layer on top of the block, that one right there. And anyway, the big change that King B Dogs was actually sharing with us was the changes in texture, and they're very subtle, but if we just jump from old to new, back to old again, and then back to new, you'll probably notice that everything's just a little bit brighter. I think some of these individual pixels are just brightened up, and again, another tweet here kind of emphasizing that the tone of the color actually looks to be a little more bluish than the cyan green sort of tint, and then some lighter things there. So, you know, the textures are being adjusted as we go along. Now, these next two tweets are really fascinating, and they're from Henrik, and they are videos, and we will full screen them and check them out. So this one right here is of the stalactites, which can be interacted with by pistons and moving blocks, and you can see here this is about 8 blocks, 9 blocks up, and the button is going to get pressed. The stalactite falls down and kills the player. Now every time we've seen the stalactite in action, regardless of height or what it hits, it seems to be a one-hit kill, although I would imagine it has some sort of high damage value, but maybe the damage value is infinite and it will kill anything it lands on. And we'll see a bit more about that in just a moment. I want to comment on the texture of this block here as well. It looks good with the stalactites. It looks good when there's like lots of it in an area. I don't feel like it blends with the stone particularly well. But yeah, it's definitely a nice texture. So let's exit the full screen here. Henrik also said, when developing features, we do a lot of testing and that can be dangerous work. And on this next tweet, let's pause that video, it says, sorry zombies, it is for science. So here we get to learn quite a bit more. Let's play this video. You'll see a trident is being activated or used to activate a target block. That's got TNT on it, and it blows up the stalactites, and then parts of them fall down and kill the zombies. Now the thing that I've observed here is that it actually destroys some of the larger stems of the stalactite and removes them completely, because when these things drop, they are the parts that I think avoided the blast of the TNT. So this stuff will not be blast slash explosion resistant, but it at the same time treats each part of it like its own block, and so that also means that even by the looks of it, smaller pieces of the stalactite hitting a mob will instant kill it as well. So I think in general we're looking at this being a very powerful thing. And one of the things I see commented a lot is that this may end up getting used for mob farms. I don't think that's going to be so, because I don't think the things are going to be farmable. However, I guess if you're dropping mobs onto the ones that are facing up, you could try and build a mob farm around where they naturally are. It might then make it tricky to pick up some of the items as well. So I don't think this is going to be quite as useful as people think. It's going to be more of an atmospheric slash challenging thing inside of the caves that you have to avoid and work your way around. So 2 tweets are left. They are from Jasper. Different Tuff stone. Had some comments. The current one was a bit blurry. I agree somewhat, and I have had this version for a while. Thought it was pretty nice. So let's have a look. Personally, I felt like the Tuff stone wasn't particularly bad or good, which is probably a bad thing. You know, you want blocks being added to this game that you think, oh, I want to build with that. And this right here kind of looks to me like a mix between andesite and cobblestone. And considering that you can throw them into a build palette with stone or randomized blocks, that might help create that bridge between the andesite texture and the cobblestone. So that could be certainly useful for building. And then this second tweet says, yeah, almost indistinguishable. So here we can see them close to one another. I actually think that's a really nice texture. They seem to kind of like bleed over the edge a little bit here. I think there are just some lighter parts that have been deliberately lined up at the edge of the block so that they kind of merge with the cobblestone really well. And I think that's a nice way to lay out these textures. But that is in fact all of the tweets, and as you know, we didn't get a snapshot today. We'll be getting one next week. I'll be covering it on my main channel. And so yeah, as we're at the end of this video, I think I'll also mention that I have 4 channels on YouTube, this one being my second. If you go down to the description box down below, you can find links to them. If you're looking for content to check out, then go check out my music and my xisumatwo channel. Hopefully you'll find something there that you enjoy. But that is it from me of this one. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.